Hi, hello everybody. Thank you for coming, and thank you the organizers for this amazing event in Amsterdam. So my name is Yingzi Yuan. I am the founder of Metaverse Summit, which is an event that is happening from the 16th to the 17th of July in Paris. My background is more from gaming industry, so I've been working for more than 3 years in Ubisoft Strategic Innovation Lab, basically working on innovation project, not only around blockchain and crypto, but also regarding AR, VR, user interface, and also the other, all kinds of innovation that enables what we talk about today, the metaverse. So when we are talking about the metaverse today, we are actually talking about a lot of different types and different progression of metaverse, right? So there's no like one ideal version of metaverse yet. Everything is kind of like work in progress. So today, the objective is actually to go through kind of the history and the state of art to see what we can build on it. So when we trace back actually to kind of the history of the metaverse, we actually see a lot of kind of prototype that are coming from the gaming industry. So when we're catching up with the history of gaming, we can see that there are a lot of different level of progression that actually enables the metaverse technology today. So we can see from consumer level, gaming is becoming more mainstream. So before, gaming was considered kind of a niche hobby. A lot of nerds or geeks are kind of the audience of gaming industry. But today, with a lot of different kind of casual game, we actually see a lot of different adoption of new users in the gaming industry. So that is from the consumer level. We can see that the market is becoming bigger and bigger, especially when it comes to online multiplayer, this kind of real world, open world game like The Sims, like the Second Life, but of course the other like AAA types of games in the past 20 years. So we also see some modern equivalent of this kind of games, such as Minecraft and World of Warcraft, and Fortnite has gained hundreds of millions of users actually, and has a huge supporting economy. So from a market maker and also from the game production point of view, we can see the emergence of all kinds of different game engines, including the bigger ones like Unity and Unreal Engine. So they are actually building the open source marketplace type of ecosystem to allow more content creators to actually be able to do the plug and play world, to actually be able to create their own game, even though they are not deeply implemented in the gaming production before. So that is from the content production level. And also regarding the technology, we can see that real-time rendering and real-time 3D has been progressing in the past couple of years. All the kinds of digital avatars and digital environments, virtual environments are becoming more photorealistic to actually be able to immerse all kinds of gamers inside of the virtual world. The final point is around the interface. So the virtual interfaces are becoming more immersed, natural, and expressive. So actually allows people to, for example, put on a VR headset and be able to use their eye tracking as a gameplay mechanism. And more startups are doing also human-machine interaction with actually more immersed interfaces. For example, putting a brand detector to actually use your neural action to play the game. So those are kind of the progressions around the gaming industry that enables what we call the gaming metaverse today. So if we go through kind of the histories and some numbers around the birth and the progress of different projects, we can see actually around 20 years ago, 2002, the Second Life was born. And in 2020, decentralized was born. So those different type of metaverses, they have different level of open economy. Roblox last year actually went IPO with 39 billion of users of market cap. So that is like a huge number, which tell us that the metaverse actually went growth exponentially during the last couple of years. So in the screen, we can actually see kind of how to position those kind of different metaverses with two different metrics. The first metrics is around the quality of the environment. So if we see the higher quality of virtual environment and virtual avatars, we can actually see maybe Fortnite, Sonium space. Those actually are some metaverses, or let's say games, that are preferring higher quality and maybe sacrificing some bandwidth with a higher amount of users in the same time. Regarding the next big metrics, there is open or closed economy, meaning that there are different levels of transferability of the value inside of the ecosystem. There are more open ones, such as we can see Crypto Voxel, the Sandbox, but there are also some like maybe more gaming-like platforms, such as World of Warcraft, the Second Life, and Fortnite, and Roblox. Especially when we are seeing the creator economy and developer economy of Roblox, we can actually see that Roblox is taking around 30% of the commission of the revenue of the developers from the ecosystem. So it is pretty much a Web 2-like ecosystem, but with Web 3 and decentralization, different kind of platforms, including Crypto Voxel, are democratizing the creation barrier inside of their ecosystem. So that is how we position part of the metaverses in these metrics. So how to move from a closed ecosystem to an open metaverse? So some different projects are using different approach. Some are leveraging NFTs. Some are building some GameFi project to actually onboard the current DeFi users to a more gamified way. And also the emerging method of different gaming DAOs, actually maybe democratizing the access of creation and of playing the Web3 games. So if we see the current great projects, actually they are combining different elements to build a open economy and open metaverse. We can see that in DeFi, we can leverage different types of assets that are already pretty mature. And last year, we were saying that it was the year of NFT and virtual goods. A lot of different traditional gaming companies, including some big production house since 30 years, they are trying to onboard some part of the gameplay and some part of the game assets on NFT just to actually embrace the open ecosystem. But we will see maybe in the next few years if the effort is actually making sense or not. And of course, we can see some decentralized governance proposal as well, even though those are more people coming from the new space, from already the Web3 circle that are adopting this kind of methodology. So from what I see in my professional life, the good project, they are really combining the best of different types of elements. For instance, not only what we here in the DevConnect talk about, not only the decentralized economy part, but also integrating all kinds of interfaces to make the whole experience more playable, not only around the economy, around play to earn, but also building a creator economy that actually makes sense. So what are the differences between what we call the Web 2.0 and Web 3.0 approach around the metaverse? There are a couple of different points. Around organizational structure, in Web 3, we are more working towards a community governance and more decentralized organization. We have native tokens that are issued, which enables community participation in governance. And we also have decisions that are based on user consensus. In Web 2, we say, let's say the games, the decisions are based on the stakeholder, especially the gaming production house. And all the decisions are centralized. Normally, the gaming production process is to go through marketing research. It's the pretty classic pipeline for product making. So the second point around the difference between Web 2 and Web 3 metaverses are around digital assets ownership and portability. So in Web 3, we can see more assets that are owned through NFT and that are transferable. And in Web 2, we can see that a lot of games, they're actually walled garden, and the game assets cannot be cashed out. They cannot even be transferable among the games inside of the same production house. Regarding content creator and identity, so we can see that in Web3 world, they are more community-based. It's enabling normal creators and people like you and me to actually be able to create. Is a more plug-and-play mechanism, providing a lot of open source tools and marketplace. And it's self-governant and it's interoperable identity as well. So the traditional gaming production pipeline are focused on gaming studio, and the decisions are made among game developers who are professional, specialized inside of these circles. Regarding the revenue and governance, we can see that Web3 world is more towards a peer-to-peer transaction, peer-to-peer model. Developers or content creators directly earn revenue from sales instead of the model I mentioned from Roblox, that the platform actually takes a high percentage of commission of the revenue. And users can earn through participation in the platform governance, which actually have more incentive for the normal players to participate also in the game decision and the future development. Also, we see that the royalties on secondary trade of NFT can come to creators. So the creators, they can actually have sustainable revenue once they are recognized by the game, by the market, by the users inside of the metaverse. So here, as I mentioned, we are talking a lot about blockchain and how decentralization and tokenomics can work in the metaverse and gaming world. However, I would like also to emphasize that this is the whole stack of metaverse technology that is enabling the new experience, including 3 different parts. The first part is around social. So actually, the new social mechanism inside of metaverse actually help build community based on shared value. The shared immersive environment with your own identity, with your own personalized avatars, for example, can make people express themselves more authentically inside of a safe, non-judgmental environment. So that's the use case, for example, of some games that are helping neurodiverse community, meaning that people who are autistic, ADHD, they feel safe actually inside of the virtual environment. They can actually be brave and be themselves. So those are also the audience that we are considering inside of the metaverse, not only the people and the audience of the play to earn. The goal and the motivation shouldn't be stopping in the play to earn model. So regarding the technology, we can also see that the hardware are progressing, the AR, VR headset are progressing. Apple is going to launch the AR glasses in 2 years, and also the other type of big tech giants are actually releasing different types of hardware to enable access to the content. Regarding the network and compute, I wouldn't give more details around that, but it's the progression and emergence of the different technology that enables what we call the metaverse today. Regarding the business side, so as we mentioned, there's not only blockchain side, but there's also interchangeable tools and standards. For instance, the GPEG Foundation has been innovating around how to use the GPEG with a safe and secure way, how to guarantee the ownership of different types of assets. So that is one example of how different circles are defining the standard of usage of metaverse. And metaverse should be kind of composed with all kinds of standards, and the efforts are coming from everywhere. So let's say open metaverse offers a lot of different opportunities. It is not the case today yet, but should be the case, hopefully should be the case tomorrow. So it allows people to socialize. So today, there are already more than 60 billion messages sent on Roblox daily. So if we imagine a metaverse that includes even more audience with an even higher quality photorealistic environment, we can definitely imagine the exponential growth of that part. So it should be allowing also more transaction. Now we already have a lot of transaction, a lot of money being spent in virtual goods in gaming world. But if we allow them to actually cash out with their value that they gain inside of different environment, different games, we actually will have more transactions also inside of this gaming world. So as I mentioned also, the metaverse is enabling creator economy because they have more incentive to create and to engage their audience to actually use the existing open source tools, as well as the democratization of game engine and game assets. So we're definitely working towards a more open creator economy as well. So hopefully we can also own and play not only the traditional mechanism of clicking games, of this simple mechanism of card games or horse racing games, like we see the play-to-earn game today. Because of technology limitation, a lot of games are very specialized. But today, when we have the different types of technology assets, we can actually create a more diverse experience and game. So yeah, that's all around kind of the history and the state of art of the metaverse and the future of open metaverse. We're gonna discuss with all kinds of entrepreneurs and investors and experts and builders in Metaverse Summit in July as well. So everybody, of course, you're welcome to come and join this adventure. And also, we have a Metaverse hackathon that are encouraging different builders, game designers, game developers, and also blockchain developers to work together to actually discover what's the different assets we can provide to the open metaverse. So it's gonna be a 1-month online hackathon starting May the 9th. And also there is a startup competition, so welcoming all the different kinds of global metaverse startups to submit the application, and then we will bring the project for free to Metaverse Summit in Paris in July. Thank you so much. Any questions? Cool. So here's my contact. So feel free to reach out to me if you want to participate in the summit or the startup competition or supporting our hackathon. Thank you.